Welcome over to Automotive World, everyone. I'm your host, Vinny Mystery, and we have a really big story. Something super exciting. The Golf GTI Clubsport has finally been unveiled to the public. Let's get into our press release and let's see everything that we've got. We've got this. We don't really have too much information on the interior. Really, we're going to be focusing more on the performance and things like that, obviously, as this is the Clubsport. So this is kind of the step up in the Golf GTI until you get to the Golf R. But the biggest thing here is that we do have a redesigned front fascia. We have some new redesigned headlights, both in the front and the rear. Obviously, we have a more powerful output in the engine, 296 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. That's a 35 horsepower difference between the 261 and the regular GTI, and it's 22 pound-feet of torque more in the regular GTI as well. This, like I said, not as powerful as the Golf R, but the fact that we have a Golf GTI that's making just under 300 horsepower is pretty crazy when you think about it. Regular speed as well, it's going to be capped at 155. We do have a race package, which is going to get us up to 167 miles per hour. It is going to be a front-wheel drive model. Only one of the few pieces of sad news we have, though, this will not feature a manual transmission. The manual transmission is no more. This is just going to be with the DSG dual clutch 7-speed. And unfortunately, VW has confirmed this will go on sale later in Europe. However, Americans will not get it. This will not be coming to American shores. Don't expect it over here. That is the only piece of sad news that we have. But we do have some really good design. We're going to go through the pictures. We got some new 19-inch wheels. We do have new infotainment systems. Similar to the ones we've seen on current VW models, including like the ID4, ID7, ID Buzz. Those are going to have ChatGPT integration as well. They also are on this model. They are adding physical buttons back to the steering wheel, which is really nice. No more touch capacitive buttons. Really good to see that. But the biggest thing here is the power output. And we are going to be using a little bit of Motor One's article as well. But like I said, you're going to get that 0 to 62 in 5.6 versus 5.9 on the regular GTI, and then you'll be able to go from 155 miles to 167 top speed from the factory if you get that optional race package, which takes off that limiter. Overall, I mean, it's very similar to what we've seen on the regular, R's and things like that. We're going to have DCC adaptive chassis. We're going to have the dual clutch. We do have some torque vectoring, things like that, electronic limited slip diff. So we do have a lot of things which aren't necessarily new, but the fact that we're getting it at this kind of output on this model is really cool to see. And I mean, one of the biggest things that I see is finally with the new redesign, fascia and things like that. When the new generation of GTI came out and it was very rounded and things, people didn't like it. And I think finally, with the new redesigned headlights and things, they've finally been able to master it. Because when you go from normal size grills to these really super small grills and then super small squinty headlights, a lot of people find it very comical. And when we look at the angular design and things like that, and then we look at just, what they've redone with the front fascia and what we'll see with the rear, even minute changes psychologically can just, you look at this vehicle from everywhere and it's it has a good stance. I think they finally refined it enough to where this design, this shape works. Obviously, this being the track package, VW does do some DRLs and some really cool adaptive lighting technology and turning lights down here. Keep in mind, this is the track-based version before you get to the Golf R. Most tracks are pretty well lit, so you don't need those lights. Saves you some space as well. Also can give you some more aero and things, so obviously we don't have those lights down here. We're obviously not going to have a tow hitch on here as well, but I mean, them testing inside the Nürburgring, you look at every single picture. I mean, from every single angle, this thing just looks really good now. Like I said, the lines on it, we can see the stance of the vehicle. Looks really nice. We get a nice view of the back here. The back ends, the rear fascias have always looked pretty good on GTIs. I don't think I ever remember seeing a bad one. Still looks very similar to the other ones, but a little bit of redesign, and it's really nice. Obviously, a turbo model. We've got dual exhaust pipes. It's a Golf GTI too, so I know usually when we do these videos, it's on an SUV or a truck. We're always looking for a tow hook or some trailering equipment and wiring and things like that, it's a Golf GTI. You don't expect that. This is a fun car. But I mean, like I said, when you look at this vehicle anywhere, I mean, obviously you can still see there's some curvature in there, but I think finally, like I said, we look at the stance of this vehicle and it looks even. It finally, I think the design finally works, and I think they finally refined it enough to where even with the super small, arguably comical grille, even with the super small squinty headlights, it works. And like I said, I mean, we look at this, every picture that they've taken when they were testing this at the Nürburgring and they showed it off there. I mean, the vehicle just looks great. Every corner, every straightaway. We can even tell, like, even pictures here where, I mean, you know, we can see the car is raised up a little bit. Obviously, going to be braking and things. It just looks great. I don't think there's one bad looking angle necessarily. And honestly, that's what this is about. You know, this really isn't about. This isn't about, you know, the interior. This isn't the luxury model. You know, this is the model under the Golf R, but this is like the value one. This is the one that you want to take to the track if you don't have the Golf R. You know, it's specifically designed to have all that equipment. And like I said, I mean, we look at it. It looks great. The new wheels. I think the wheel design looks wonderful. The graphics that they have on here, I think it really, really just works. And like I said, we're going to get that 296 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque, with the DSG, manual gear, no more manuals, unfortunately. But unfortunately, the biggest news as well is that this model will not be making it to America. And so that's going to suck. As a VW fan myself, as a VW owner, this is a new. VW never really gives Americans the fun cars, but I still think overall they did a great job with this model. And so that's going to really do it for now, honestly. Let me know what you guys think down below of the new GTI Clubsport. That's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching, everyone.